All right, looks like we are here. We are going. And where are we going? We're going today down to Marseille. I've got a pretty straightforward flight today. Just heading down. I need to do a Deutsche Lufthansa virtual flight. I have some interesting news to pass along during this trip, but basically I've got a flight I need to get in. So there's so many other things, so many other constructive things I could be doing right now, and I have no interest in doing any of them, so I'm doing this instead. So first things first, what we're going to do is, you're wondering what that is, I'll tell you in a second. Get our data from SimBrief, get our departure weather. Winds are 060 at 4. Pretty cool. What else we got? Temperature 14, dew point 07, QNH 1021. We'll dial that in. Fairly certain we're gonna get some night flying in tonight here. Or today. It's gonna be dusk, I'm pretty sure, by the time we get down to hey Flipper, what's going on? I'm doing great. How you doing? Pretty sure we're gonna get some night ops in here before we get down to Marseille. I think it's gonna be dark. But this should be a fun flight. It's let me show you real quick what we're gonna do here. Alright. So here we are. Actually, you know what? Instead of showing you on Volanta, why don't I show you on Navigraph? There we go. So we're coming up here from Brussels, going to do the Civ 3 departure, hang a Louis, head south, and we pretty well west of Paris today. But we'll come down over western or eastern France, come down here into Marseille. This should be a pretty cool flight, actually. Have a look real quick at the world map here. It should be actually a pretty interesting flight. I'm looking forward to this one. You can fly with me. You're more than welcome. I am on USA East server, I do believe. Same one as I was on the other day. I don't think, I actually didn't remember, I actually didn't plan on putting it on, what is this right here? Lyon. Okay, we'll go by Lyon. I actually wasn't planning on being on the actual Microsoft Flight Simulator servers, but I just totally forgot about it, and so I am. So in any event, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Hey, Miss Paul, what's going on? I think I saw you the other day on the German Sim Aviation stream. That was pretty cool stuff. And as you can tell, I got a little bit of a cold going on, so is what it is. We're gonna go. I can pull down. I don't even know if I'm signed into this. Probably not. I am, which is gonna make life a whole lot easier. All right, let's load that. Let's go IFR high. Cool. Now we got our maps that we need here. Got our parking stand. Got our airport. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're good to go as far as maps and so forth. I always get these weird messages from YouTube saying that I should increase my my bit rate, but whenever I do, it does this. So let's see what we get. It should smooth out. It should smooth out here pretty soon. Doing a quick little test here. Yeah, I mean, speed's decent enough that it should pick back up here. So anyhow, yeah, Paul, I did actually, yes. Guess then. I tuned in there just to see what was going on. All right, so let's continue on here. Performance tool, we're gonna be runway 7, right? I don't have all this stuff loaded here. Pause in it. Route, company route. Load payload, load fuel. Block fuel set. Select route, that should be good. 17.2, let's make sure that that's correct. Payload fuel is 17.2, that is correct. So alright, are we still getting streaming issues here? Because it shouldn't be. I mean, it looks fine. Looks fine on my end. Anyway, let's just keep on trucking here. Mag auch gerne Pommes. Alright, let's see here. Let's activate that. We'll go perf in it. Request that. And now it should be back. Now we're saying alright, perf in it, let's load. Execute cost index 35. That is good. Alright, so now we're good enough that we can come here, import from aircraft. Takeoff flaps is going to be 5. Import the weather. And let's do some calculating here. Alright, select temp is 32, OAT is 14. I'm also on Vatsim, by the way, Flipper. If you want to do Vatsim, you're more than welcome to join. Trim is 5.08. Yeah, problem is it came back. I don't know what the deal was. V2 is 145. Alright, so we should be pretty good. Now the cool thing, check this out. So I made a video on this a couple weeks ago. This is the radio app for the PMDG tablet, which is really sweet. So now I can problem is I am from New York, but I lived in Hamburg for years. So ich habe jahrelang in Hamburg gewohnt, habe auch in Berlin gewohnt. Mag auch ganz gerne Deutsch sprechen, ab und zu. So runway 7 right, departures, transition level 055. Is that going to be in here? We'll see. Route data. Let's get us some wins here. And let's see here. I haven't flown the 737 since before I went on vacation, which is now 5 weeks, so don't be terribly surprised if something goes haywire. Load that. Alright. There's 0. What is our cruise altitude going to be? It's cruise altitude is going to be 390. That's pretty high for such a short flight. This is not going to be a real long flight. But that is okay. So let's come up top. We'll go 390. I think now turn the fuel pumps on and a collision light on. We'll turn our fuel pumps on. All right, slowly start getting ready here. What else do we need? Got all that. So tower, I believe we have tower. Do we have ground? We do not have ground. We do not have delivery. Alright, so tower. And this is the cool thing about this app is you can just run yeah, so Flipper Vatsim is an online network you can fly on, which is really pretty cool stuff. You can it's basically online virtual air traffic control. So that's what I'm doing right now. So when I come over here to 118.605, I'm gonna have live traffic, or live ATC rather. So let's take a look here. 508. All right, let's go here. 069 is the runway heading. 069 both sides. You can see that runway heading you can always get from the taxi chart. 069 right there. 069. What do you say? Initial climb? I don't think he said initial climb. I don't think it said initial climb there. So see what our, let's read our chart here. Expect close-in obstacles after takeoff. Remain on tower frequency. Let's see. Traffic routing, SID VOR. SID requires a minimum climb grade of 7% to 3,200. That is a pretty steep climb grade, but initial climb is 6,000. You can see that right here. Alright, so we're good. So it was heading 069 as well. Whoopsie. We're heading 069. Let's say 145, so 165. And we are at stand 207, I do believe. Let's have a look here. Even know that, yeah, 207. All right, because they're gonna want to know that when we call them. All right, so I think I'm pretty good. Get my clearance here. All right, 118.605. Okay, we are beeline 3597. Brussels Tower, good evening. Beeline 3597. Assuming they're still on. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here's the next step in the process. Connect to Vatsim. BEL 35907. Okay, that's the next. That's always good to be connected. No, actually, Flipper, you can fly with me because I've got everything. I've got the. I'm connected to multiplayer in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so you don't need to. No. 118.055. So it looks like we do have round. EBBR ground 118.055. Let's see here. 118. Yeah, man. Let's see here. Brussels ground, beeline 35907.
Beeline 35907, Brussels ground, hello.
Good evening, Brussels, beeline 35907. We are at stand 207, looking to pick up my IFR to Marseille.
Beeline 35907, stand by.
Roger. Mateo, what's going on? This is one of my favorite airports to fly out of. I love flying out of here. Did I file? I didn't file. No, I did file. I did file. Okay. This is one of my favorite airports, Mateo. Just a cool... I don't know what it is about it. I just like it.
Beeline 35907, Brussels ground. Are you ready to copy the clearance?
A-frame, beeline 35907.
Beeline 35907. Information Lima is current. You repeat IFR to Marseille via the Chèvre 3 Victor departure out of runway 07 right. Initial climb flight level 60, squawk 1000.
Okay, we're cleared to Marseille via the Civ 3 Victor departure. The initial climb is to 6,000, runway 07 right, squawk 1000, and information Lima is current.
Beeline 35907, initial climb is flight level 60.
Flight level 60 for beeline 35907.
Beeline 35907, feedback rate, startup approved, 3430.
Alright, startup approved for beeline 35907. And ground beeline 35907, am I cleared for push and start or just for start?
Just for start.
Roger, beeline 35907. Alright, so that's kind of a little unusual to, hey Mike Coffee, what's going on? I gotta go to the grocery store too. So the only Brussels airline livery I can find for the 738 is this one, which, I mean, is what it is. I would prefer a different one, to be honest, but not much I can do. Okay, so let's get the APU going here. How about that for a plan? I should have done that about 10 minutes ago. Now let's see if we can remember where the lights are, because that would be good. There we go. Alright, because we're gonna need just a little bit of lights here today, I do believe. Just because. And let's see here. Alright, so waiting on the APU. Once we get the APU going, we'll be good. Yeah, Mateo, like I said, I can't find any other liveries for this plane in the sim, so it's kind of a bummer. Because they got some cool liveries. It's just, I just don't know. I can't find any other ones. All right, so there we go. We got that. All right, what else do we need? There's 1019. We got that dialed in. All right, so release the ground power. We're gonna probably want to push nose to the right, I would think, right? And gonna give us, I'm sure, inner 9 to 7 right. So always plan your taxi. So we're gonna look for probably Tango, inner 9, hold short 7 right is what my guess is going to be. Alright, so we're good to go. Alright, so how does one become an ATC? No, people on Vatsim, people are pretty great. I mean, every once in a while you get a bonehead on here, but not all that often. Alright, so 2 pumps are all on, electric's all on. So we'll start with this number 2 engine first. You know what? Let me get everything closed up here. I'm not used to starting the plane and then pushing back, if I am honest. So we'll just wait here for a second. No cream in your coffee, huh? No, I actually designed a new livery for one of the A320s. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're ready. Gonna get that last truck out of the way here. Alright, so what am I forgetting? 2 pumps all on. APU's running. You know what? APU bleed. It's gonna take me a minute. I haven't flown this plane in a month and a half. Alright, now we can get ourselves moving here.
Versus ground for P999 Papa.
P999 Papa, versus ground, hello.
Now we know. Now we're cooking fire here.
P999 Papa, your flight plan has been canceled.
Okay, thank you.
So, oh, that's all right, Flipper. It's cool for you to be around. Mike, we're hopefully gonna fly Sunday, so if you're around Sunday, let me know. We should be flying Sunday. Set the flaps here. Alright, just waiting for that bus to come off here. The other cool news, so there's only 5 people here to hear it, but I'm gonna get access to the iFly 737 MAX tomorrow. Maybe today, but by tomorrow for sure. So we'll be streaming that and demoing that plane for you guys. Alright. So now... start engine number 1. Unusual to have me start the engines and then push back, but what it is. Alright. Looking good, looking good. Trim is set. Like a good evening flight, I think. I think evening is one of the coolest periods in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll go Gen 1. Packs coming on. Leads. Turn the APU off. APU bleed off. Valve to auto. Turn all these on. It's definitely not so warm that I'm going to overheat anything. Ropes coming on. Alright, so I think we're good. Starters on continuous. Temps are okay. Alright, so Brussels ground, beeline 35907, ready for push and taxi.
Beeline 35907, squawk 1000.
Yeah, I gotta do that too. Misbehaving. Squawking 1000, beeline 35907.
Beeline 35907, pushback approved, facing east.
Push approved, facing east, beeline 35907. Alright, so.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and
let's
start.
see
They
here.
want the tail to our left.
Wrong page. Alright.
Ready for pushback, tail to the left. Release brake, please.
Release.
Brakes released.
Oh no, you know what, Ali? I'm sitting here wondering why everything is so jittery. That's exactly why. Huh.
Brakes released, here we go.
That's exactly why. So, yep. Microsoft does it again. I don't know why they do that. But it's really pretty annoying. So that's why my sim is all jittery, because I don't know if you guys can see it, but to me it's like not smooth at all. Alright. That explains it. We should be pretty much right on Tango. Alright. Thank you for reminding me about that, Ali. And welcome aboard as well.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Alright, so brake.
Brake set.
Alright. Now let's see here. My director's coming on.
Disconnected. Watch for the sloop release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
No LNAV yet. Okay, so Brussels ground, beeline 35907. We are pushed back facing east. Ready for taxi.
Beeline 35907, taxi to holding point Charlie 6, runway 07 right, via Tango and the Inners, QNH 1021.
Okay, taxi to Charlie 6, hold short 7 right, via Tango and Inners, QNH 1021, beeline 35907. Alright. So, Tango and the Inners, that makes sense. Yeah, man. So, alright. Inner 9, inner 10. So that's released. And let's get matriculating here. So that's cool, Ali. Yeah, it's so funny of all the times I've done, of all the times I've kind of played this game with a solo, they still manage to fool me on occasion. You know, I just wasn't thinking about it. And ever since I got in the sim and got it started up today, I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. It's not as smooth. Of course, I haven't flown this plane in, like I said, in 3 months. No, 3 months in a month. About 5 weeks, actually. But it's just irritating. Irritating that they keep doing this to us. This is going to be a gorgeous flight. This is going to be a gorgeous flight. I love night flights. I know not everybody does, but I do. I love night flying. So let's see here. Inners have got to be one of the most difficult things about flying in airports that you're not really familiar with is taxiing. Here we go. This has got to be Inners right here. Yeah, we're good. Inner 9. And what do we got now? There's a little Emirates. Look at that. So. Charlie. Oh, Charlie 6. Charlie 6. That's interesting. So, once we come down here, well, we got to go right here a little bit. And then, oh, you know what we didn't do? This is what happens when you don't fly for a long time.
634 Brussels ground, did you check?
Yeah, I forgot a whole bunch of things, so we're gonna have to stop here and hold short.
Beeline 35907, no further ATC available. Monitor Unicorn 122, that's my late, bye bye.
Oh, 122.8 for beeline 35907. Thanks for your help and have a great night. so I wonder why he gave me an intersection departure. Gave me Charlie 6, and he could have just as easily given me full length, which is, I would have preferred. Always take the full length of a runway.
634, Brussels current.
Always take the full length of a runway if you can. There's an expression that now let me see here. Let me see here. Let me stop and take a look. Charlie 6. Oh, okay. Charlie 6 is this way. Alright. So the trick to reading taxiway signs. Black square, you're there. See that Charlie 6 in black? And you can see over here Echo 1 in black. That's how you... Black square, you're there. That's how you know. And this should be according to the chart, this should be the ILS hold short line, but it looks like it is. So on the chart, it's showing it's the ILS hold short, but on the actual ground here, this is a hold short line. So we're just gonna hold short right here. I'm gonna set the parking brake and let's dial in 122.8. 122.8. No. Alright, now let's do all the things that we forgot to do. Select temp is 3214. This should have been done a long time ago. Takeoff is flaps 5. Alright. Center of gravity trim is 4.55. That's not what I got. Wind is 0604. This is what happens when you don't fly a plane for about a month. Very easy to forget things. And I didn't even select my departure and arrival. Alright, 07 right. Civ 3. Alright, execute. We'll worry about the rest of it later. Look at our legs page. Alright, so at least we got that. Come back here, let's try this again. Alright, dun dun dun. Maybe it says 4.55. Alright, we should be pretty close. Alright. So. Now can we get LNAV? Now we got LNAV. Get auto throttle, LNAV, RTO, flaps 5. Okay, so I have been all over the place on this departure because I haven't flown this plane forever. So off we go. Next heading is going to be 072, so I'll dial that in. Initial climb 6,000. Right downwind departure. Brussels traffic beeline 35907, departing runway 07 right. We'll be making a right downwind departure to the south, Brussels. Alright, so let's see this airport diagram again, straight ahead. Alright, get rid of that. Traffic. Alright. Alright, off we go. This is taking forever. But what happens sometimes? Dude, I should have checked for inbound traffic. I did not do that. We look like we're good. Kinda looks like this guy's coming right at me, but he can't be because... Hey, Cash, what's going on? Oh, thank you for the light. Thank you for the light. Aye, aye, aye. My brain is about 10 minutes behind where it should be. Alright. So... yeah, look at that ghosting on the screen. That looks terrible. I really wish he had given me full length of the runway, but he didn't. But you know what? That's a lesson right there. Guess what? Guess what you should do if ATC gives you something you don't want? Ask for what you do want. That's what you should do. Instead of accepting it, ask for what you do want. Alright, so engine's coming up 50%. Engines are stabilized. Toga power is set. Master caution light, don't like that. Okay, we're good.
Airspeed alive.
Checked. Cross-checked. A little bit quick on that rotation. Gears coming up. Gotta really come up on this one because the departure rate, the climb rate is so high. Alright. Alright, flaps 1. There's our up speed. Cash, you on Vatsim? Where are you still going from Guernsey to Dublin, or are you off by now? Alright. Do a little bit of hand flying here. Alright, flaps are up. Doop doop doo. Doop doop doo. Alright. Let's hand things over to George here. Look at this. We'll go to, and we gotta go level change because I didn't get there quick enough. Play level 110. Alright, let's see here. Alright, we're looking good. Jump battery. Cabin is pressurizing. Everything looking good over here. Flaps are up. Auto brakes are off. So set the gear to off. Just loading the aircraft. I don't use GSX, which I don't know if I'm missing out or what. So this should be a pretty cool. Should be a pretty cool departure here. 9,000 climbing 11. Let's go 17.
Takeoff.
10,000 feet. We turn our landing lights off. Alright. Okay, look at this. Wow. There's a screenshot for you right there. Back to VNav. All right. This is like one of those screenshots that that I would send into the official forums if I hadn't gotten thrown out. But I did. All right, off we go. Let's see, 14 climbing 17. $1 straight up to 39. All right, there we go. What a view. What a job. What a job this would be. Let's have a quick look. Have a quick look here on Volanta. We've got some Vatsim traffic coming in right there. He should be right off our nose, actually. Unless he's below us, which I'm sure he is, actually, now that I think about it. So... Alright, so off we go. Add me flight plan. It looks like we got pretty much nothing going on between here and where we are, or where we're going anyway. So let's have a quick look up top. Alright, fuel pumps are all on, lights are off. I can turn the seatbelt signs off. Gen 1 battery. Everything looking good. Everything on here. Cabin is pressurizing. Everything looking good there. Alright. So. Level 200 climbing 390. So yeah, like I was saying before, I get hopefully tomorrow I get my copy of the iFly 737 Max, which is pretty cool stuff. I think you guys will agree. And yeah, definitely do some flying with that over the weekend. I would have flown that plane today, but I just didn't. They sent me a notification today that I was getting it. And I'm pretty psyched about that. I tell you what, the DLSS file that comes with the sim stinks. It's terrible. It really does. Just showing my overlay at the top of the screen is showing the altitude at 175 feet. I think it's a little higher than that right now, but that's all right. Cash, I'm gonna look on Vatsim, see where you are. Yeah, so anybody who wonders whether it's worth updating your DLSS file, it's worth it. Clear on the left. What town that is down there. I always wonder when I'm flying in hey Exo Toby, what's going on? How are you? We are bombing along here down to Marseille. I always wonder when I'm flying in real life, when you look down and you see like all these you know, you see the cities and such laid out below you. I always wonder, look down and like wonder what the people down there are thinking about, like what they're worried about, what they're happy about, you know? Like you're looking at thousands of lives. It's kind of cool stuff. You know? What do we got here? 172 on the heading, it looks like. So, what's going on with you, Toby? What have you been up to? My first time touching the 737 in a long time. In a long time. I haven't flown this plane since end of August. Alright, so we are past the oh, you know what, my wife loves pastis. That I can't drink that stuff. I think it's gross. But she loves it. Tastes like licorice to me. I don't know if, but she loves it. So let's see, what do we got coming down here into Marseille? We have got runway 31. Ooh, 20 knot wind. 20 knot wind. That is pretty cool right there. Wimp. I don't know why it tastes like candy. I don't know. I don't like pastis. I do like cognac. Cognac is delicious and good for you. I don't know if you knew that. It's actually good for you. I'm gonna have a look here. on the old Navigraph charts. And I'll take you guys with me here. Have a look at the Navigraph charts. Will pick us an approach into Marseille. I don't think there's going to be RNAV Zulu. What do we got here? Well, first question is, what's the weather going to be? That's always your first question. 320, 20 gusting 30. Yeehaw. This is going to be exciting. It should calm down a little bit, but... Alright, so it's going to be pretty windy. Cash, have a good flight, buddy. It's going to be pretty windy. So, but 320... What runways do we have? Okay, we're perfect then. We're perfect. So we want 3-1 right because I like me a let's see. So 3-1 right. Is that what we're using for land? No, they're using 3-1 left. Alright, that's fine. Alright, 3-1 left. Let's have a look here. RNAV Zulu approach. Of course, did I look at the one thing I wanted to look at? No, I didn't. What are the clouds going to be like? Oh, good visibility. Alright. Clouds 2000. All right, so basically we're not going to have much of a weather to worry about. And I can't stand looking at this on. Okay. All right, so what are the minimums? 440. I don't really like that approach that much. I like that approach right there. I like me a good ILS approach. Let's have a look here. Where am I coming from? Ah, alright, cool. That looks like fun. Come right down over the VOR. Do a little dance and come in. So ILS Zulu runway 3-1 right it is. Or 3-1 left rather. Cool. This is kind of tricky stuff here. Dolive. Dun, 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 dun. Where do we pick it up? Dolive? Where's Dolive? Dolive is right here. So we're gonna have to fly. So Dolive is where this ends, and the ILS does not start. Initial approach seat 10D. D. Initial approach. Oh, 11D. 11D. There we go. 110D. Okay. RNAV initial approach 110D. Why does this? Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. I don't know why. So they have the approach basically on two charts. So we're gonna come here to Doliv, Venta, right over top of the airport. Come around to Pomeg, and then we're gonna pick that up. Pomeg, and then we pick up the final approach course. All right, now that finally makes some sense. Madel 1D, ILS Zulu transition Doliv. Okay, so now that we've got that figured out, jeez. Let's see here. And we're gonna have to do this at night, which is even more fun. 35,000 climbing 390. So let's come here. We'll do arrival. Two, middle 1D. ILS Zulu 31. Right. That's the one I wanted. ILS Zulu 31, right? Transition Doliv. Execute. Now, make sure we got all of our stuff right here. So we're looking for Ballsy, which is kind of a funny name for an intersection there. Bobsy. Danbo. There's Doliv, so we must have missed it. Alright, where is... Alright, there's Luxan, Roman, Saurig. I don't have this synced with my desktop, so I'll have to go ILS Zulu 13 right. Okay. Doliv, wait, battle, Saurig, Doliv, Venta, Lacaz, Ibili, Elriv, Madra, Homeg, B177B, stop it please, Charlie Foxtrot 31 right. That's going to be the intermediate, and then we've got the runway waypoint, which is this. Cool. All right, so if you guys are not confused now, I'm not confused either. How's that? Yeah, it is a beautiful sunset, isn't it? I like setting everything up really, really early, then I don't have to worry about anything anymore. Set up our fixed page, 3-1 right. I want to go, let's see, 39 times 3 is 117. So we'll go 117. We'll go 25,000 to go right there. We'll go 25. We'll go 15, which is where I want to be pretty much configured. I think this is a trick that only, yeah, that's a trick that only works on the 777. Alright, runway 31 right. We'll go 10. And this is going to be, at the very least, an interesting an interesting ILS approach. That is for sure, because it's not your usual just T route ILS approach. So let's see here, what we got? 111.15. Come down here. 111.15. Get all this set up way ahead of time. What else do we need? What do we need for the mist? 111.15. I don't like looking at this in reverse color. Thank you. 111.15. What is the mist? Mist approach, climb straight ahead. MTG VOR, which is right here. So we need 117.3 in the backup as well. 117.3 for the mist. 117.3. There's that. Final approach 312. Dial that in. There's 312. There's 312. Of course, in the fun, you know, we're also gonna be doing this at night, which is gonna be interesting. Ground speed is gonna be very low. Yeah, it was doing that before. And it shouldn't be, because my connection is awesome. Oh, I'm getting this internet connection message again here. I'm getting the offline nonsense from Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is not helpful. Seems these issues that everybody else has had for like months now, and sometimes years, that I never had, all of a sudden I'm having them now. Final force course 312, decision altitude 352. There's 352. Go all one. Back over here. Now we got them on both sides. 352. Oh, you're right. Airport elevation 70 feet. Alright, so the top descent 1758. Really? Top of descent 1758, is that really possible? Can't be. It is. This is gonna be a real short flight. Let me check the data real quick. You're right, it does. Buggers. Turn that back on. Sorry about this, guys. Do. It takes forever for the setting to take effect, too. Somebody play the Jeopardy music. Do. So for those of you who weren't here earlier, I'm going to be flying the 737 MAX this weekend because I got early access to the iFly 737 MAX. So that's going to be fun. Keep an eye out for that coming up this weekend. Sunday, we're going to be flying group flight in the Caribbean, probably going back to Panama. We're going to continue our way around. This is genuinely taking forever. All right, so any day now this will be up and running. If I had realized it was going to take this long, I wouldn't have done it. Cash, I don't know. It's really kind of confusing how VAMSIS has done that. I don't understand what they did. I mean, there is a they revamped the entire system, and it's problematic. Hey, Flipper, no worries. But we're trying to get VBWA back up as soon as possible. It really is a pain that it's down. But so pretty much we have the approach set up. Nice. So it looks like it should be Geneva right out in front of us. I mean, a ways out in front of us. I don't think it's that right there. Monaco is right out in front of us. Fancy. Yeah, the thing is, Cash, when we're a two-man team at VBWA, and I was gone when... Oh, there's Dijon. Anybody want any mustard? Mustard, straight ahead. We're a two-man team. The flight's going great, Flipper. It's going very, very well. We're all set up for the ILS. I didn't realize how quick a flight it's going to be. Yeah, Cash, the problem for us is that we're set, we're only two people, and I was gone when I was on vacation when this whole update was even announced. I didn't even know it was happening. And so when I got back from vacation, I logged in to go do a flight, and then I found out about the whole update. So we'll see. Hopefully, and the instructions are confusing. But we should have started the update, started updating everything like a month ago. And I don't like the new format, and the instructions are confusing. So that's all right. We got about 15 minutes to top a descent. I don't know what my altitude and ground speed are not correct for my overlay here. Oh. It's saying my altitude is 175 feet. It is in fact higher than that. So, I guess we just, oh yes, we are doing island hopping on Sunday, Flip. We are. So, Cash, we'll try to get that squared away this weekend with VBWA. Because I want to get back to flying, so. Can't do that until, until we get ourselves going. Kind of a cool view at night in the airplane, isn't it? Yeah, Flip, for the island hopping is a blast. We always have a good time. Everybody kind of hanging out, you know. So DJL is coming up soon. Take a look at what our fuel should be at DJL. DJL fuel should be 11.5 and it's right now 11.8, so we're pretty much Santiago. I could not agree more. I love night flying. I love night flying in real life, and I love night flying in the sim. So alright, let's do some calculations here. 136.4. We should have 9.6 on the ground, 11.7 right now. That's 2.1. So 134.2. And runway's 11,000 feet, so I think we're pretty good. You're F-143. Let's see here. Bring that down just a little bit. Pretty bright. Bring these panels down a little bit. Alright, so let's see here. Have just a little bit more fuel than anticipated, so that's good. Take a quick look over on Volanta here. Still looking at smooth sailing all the way down. Doesn't look like there's anybody to anybody who's interested in what we're doing. Add some screenshots here. Let's see if there's anybody coming into anybody coming into Marseilles. Volanta, we've got a couple Vatsim flights. One leaving. So that seems pretty busy today in Europe. All right. So thank you, JFF. Thanks a lot. It's a cool one. I like this livery. Of course, if I go outside, you can't see it because it's dark out. But where? I think, what do I have? I have a wing light that I don't have on. I do. Let's see, anti-collision is on. Where? Wing lights. What do we got here? Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Where's the logo light? There's a logo light. Is there not? There is a logo light. Let's turn that on. You can sort of see it. Flipper, no, Vatsim is not airliners only. You can do GA aircraft on here as well. Yeah, JFF, you're absolutely correct. And you know what's funny is that I didn't start using Volanta until, I mean, I know there's a bunch more like different legs that I've done that's not like, here, let me look real quick. Let me see here. So let's look at lights. These are my Europe flights. These are my 777 flights. But like, for example, well, I guess that one's there. Like, there's a couple from like Piarco to Jamaica is not on there. There's a couple that should be there that aren't. But yeah, I've done pretty much everything there is to be done. You know. But yeah, it is pretty funny. Let's see. I don't know, Jeff. I figured that was the case. Thanks. I almost said that before, but I figured that was probably the case. Flipper, I don't know if Vatsim is 18 plus. I don't believe so, because I've come across plenty of people that aren't 18 on Vatsim, so I would venture to say no. Virgin Island hops in the 789. Yeah. Which where'd you fly out of for those, Jeff? And it is infinite black. It is infinite black. But it's, I don't know. I think the like the kind of the atmosphere, the dusks and stuff like that in Microsoft Flight Simulator are pretty sweet. I think it's pretty cool stuff. 15 minutes between Barbados and Grenada. That's a pretty quick 789 flight right there. That probably didn't take a heck of a lot of time. What do we got here? What do we got here? We've got... we got about 5 minutes to top of descent. I'm going to take a very, very brief captain's break. I will be right back. I had too much coffee this morning. I will be right back. 2 minutes. Okay, that makes sense, Jeff. That's a cool flight. There's a couple between, like, I want to do the Air France, like, to Martinique and Guadeloupe. There's some pretty cool, you know, Atlantic routes that I want to do in the 777, but I just need to find time to do them, you know. But yeah, that's a cool flight right there. I'll be right back, guys. 2 minutes. Just as I was gonna step away, it's Andrew Carr. What's going on, Andrew? How are you? Good to see you. I'm gonna be right back. 2 minutes. We're coming up on top of descent. I'm just gonna take a real quick break, Andrew. I'll be right at the back. All right, we're back. We are back. So we only have a little bit of time here until top of descent. I don't like the way this looks with the brightness turned down. These look really pretty terrible, actually, these displays, don't they? Yeah, Andrew, it has been a while. It's good, you know. I don't know if you caught any of the streams since I got back from the Caribbean, but I got married, which is kind of weird. I never it's like different. And got married in end of August. Came home a week and a half later. My dad was sick, my dog was sick, and like a country and western song. But everything's good. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, my wife and I were together for like 20 years before we got married. You don't want to rush into things, you know. So, but it was fun. We got married in Anguilla, which was really pretty cool. And which way is that airplane going? Is that coming towards us or going away? You can tell by the lights. If you see green, it's coming towards you. You see green and white on your left, it's coming towards you. Because green is on the right wing. One of those weird things. You know, Jeff, so thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. And Flipper, thank you as well. I appreciate it. Jeff, I was mentioned earlier, I'm gonna be one of the early I get early access to the iFly 737 Max for Flight Sim 2020, so I'll have that hopefully tomorrow, actually, and be able to stream that. And that's a slick looking airplane. I can't wait. Can't wait to see that. So coming up on top of descent, my calculation was pretty far off. 117 top of descent here. 39 times 3 is 120 minus 3. I don't know why my calculation was so far off. This is why. So hey guys, interesting stuff, right? So you see my top of descent right here. Show you something interesting. See my top of descent right here, and this is my estimate. My estimate was 117 miles. How do you get that 117? You get it from 39,000, multiply that times 3, and knock the last 3 zeros off. 39 times 3 is 117. The top of descent estimated is about 117 miles. But I'm pretty far off. You can tell I'm about 20 miles off, right? And why am I 20 miles off? Because of this right here. I've got a 60 knot tailwind. So we need more distance to drop that altitude. That's why. Isn't that cool stuff? I love flying. I love flying. Let's see here. Flying is fun. Found a really awesome approach. Most Aiguille Airport airstrip on the top of a small mountain. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's so many fun approaches in the world. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have so much fun with everybody that comments and watches, and it's been so much more than I ever thought my wee little channel would be, you know, so I really appreciate it. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that, Jeff. Andrew, I am flying Brussels Airlines. I hope so, Jeff. From your lips to God's ears, my friend. From your lips to God's ears, because I have myself a good time. That's Andrew, that's the livery right there. Jeff, from your lips to God's ears, because I really enjoy streaming. I actually enjoy streaming quite a bit. The thing I like about streaming is I actually get to fly, you know, like those videos each take probably 3 to 5 hours to make. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And it's a lot of work, you know, but it's a lot of like alone work. So there's nothing like I'm not sitting there like enjoying myself talking to you guys, you know, which is what I enjoy doing. And so I really enjoy doing the streams because I get to fly and I get to chat, which is good stuff. Let's see, is this what we're looking for? No. That's what we're looking for. Come on. Come on. There we go. So what I want to do, 3-1 right, we'll be looking to get off Delta 4. I always like to check my charts, my taxi charts before I get to where I'm going. What does this say here? Delta 4. This is parking stands and coordinates. Okay, that's good. An approach is the ILS 13 left Zulu. No, 3-1 right. Yeah, I was close. 3-1 right Zulu. All right, there we go. Let me see. Try to pass the time. Something in the group call. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Jeff, you're not even kidding, dude. You're not even kidding. It depends, Jeff, on for me it's a question of runway length, basically. Runway length and ground speed, really. Like so we got a really strong headwind coming in, and I don't know what the difference, what's the difference between, let's see, so 137 knots, you got a 20 knot headwind, that you're gonna be coming in at 117 knots, and that's just crawling. So I'd rather have a little bit more speed, and the landing runway is, you know, 11,500 feet, so flaps 30 is just what I'm used to, and the reason you float on flaps 40 is you got so much more drag, or so much more lift rather. with the extra flaps, and it's the sight picture is different as well, you know. So, but you're right about Discord. Discord, I always said that that Discord was a well-named app because I found it confusing. It seemed to be Discordy to me, but I finally figured it out a little bit. It's it's a funny thing. I mean, yes, your air the airplane doesn't know how fast you're going across the ground, right? So if you got a 50 knot headwind and your airspeed is 140 and your ground speed is 90, the airplane doesn't know the difference between the ground speed. The only thing the airplane cares about is how fast you're moving through the air. But it's just, to me, it's a sight picture thing as well, because your nose is pitched up more with the 40 degrees of flaps, and going so slow, it's kind of hard. You need more power. And it's just the timing of it is weird when you're going that slow, to me. So if I have a short field, then or if it's wet, for example, like there's certain circumstances where you want to come in slower. Like if the runway's wet, you want to come in slower for sure. Man, I wish I was almost 30. I'm almost 50, which is scary. I tell you what, like, well, they say life flies by. It doesn't, but they say it does. I haven't flown I've flown the A320, I think, twice. I keep meaning to kind of get more into the Airbus, but I'm just not an Airbus guy. So yeah, it was funny because about 5 years ago, my wife cracked a joke at me about she said I was pushing 50 and I was like 43 at the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I've got like a half a decade before I get to 50. And hey Chris, what's going on? And now I don't have half a decade until I turn 50. But what's going on, Chris? How you doing? So let me see. Where is the brightness on this stupid thing? Ah, there we go. I knew it had one, I just didn't know what it was. So, time to start thinking about our approach in earnest here. Who's earnest, you say? A good question. Alright, so first things first, let's get us some weather here. Okay, so this is from 19 minutes ago, so we're not going to need new weather, which is great. Wind 06, no, that's Brussels. What am I talking about here? Installed the new GPU, nice. Oh yeah, I have never installed the GPU, at least that I can. No, actually I have, but it's been a while. Taxi, yeah, I probably should have read all this, but I didn't. We'll worry about that some other time. Alright, weather, 10 minutes ago, awesome. Alright, 33018, which is fine. Visibility is cab okay, ceiling visibility okay, temperature 16, dew point 08, QNH 1010, and this number right here, 16/08, if the difference between those two numbers is less than 5, then don't trust this, because if if the temperature and the dew point are closer than 5 degrees Celsius, if they're getting towards 5 degrees Celsius, then you can expect what the FAA refers to as obstructions to visibility. 1011. What time? What is? Let's see. You know, it's so Jeff. I love the ATR, and the ATR is all Airbus logic. So theoretically, I should be able to figure it out. I just never really have, you know. Transition level is by ATC. I think it had it over here. Transition level 6,000. Okay. Yeah, it's the same. It's just different. Invasive surgery. Yeah, it's funny. I looked at a PC this morning, Chris. You can start getting 4080 Super PCs for $2,300 now. Just freaking cheap. All right, let's start briefing this approach here. Let me make sure we don't have any. I don't see any inbound traffic. All right, MTL to Dolive. And that's right, I need that extra chart. What chart was that? Initial approach, this one. Alright. They're trying to confuse me, which is not hard to do, by the way. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Alright, initial approach. Come on. Alright, Dolive is the initial approach fix is Dolive. Alright, so. Alright. That makes life interesting. 160 to Ventive. Around the horn we pick up, that's the intermediate fix. I don't know why they put on, well, they probably put it on two charts because it won't fit in here. Alright, so 115, 1.5 both sides. 117.3 in the backup, which is for the mist. Let's see, 312 both sides for the course. 2000 is the glide slope intercept. 352 is in. Airport elevation is, we're going to go with 100 feet. Missed approach, climb straight ahead. The 3.5 MPV, which is where is MPV. Okay, that's the ILS. Gotcha. 3.5 MPV, turn left, max 185 knots. Intercept the radial outbound to the MTG VOR. Boy, oh boy. Climbing to 3,500 or as directed. Okay, sounds good. So straight ahead at 3.5, left turn to 198, 3,500 feet. So got localizer distances and altitudes in case the glide slope goes out. Let's see, 4-degree glide slope. This is important. 4-degree glide slope. Standard is 3 degrees. Chris didn't really want to spend a huge amount. Yeah, you know, and I think that's a good move to make when with 2024 right around the corner. LF 79. I'm gonna write that down, Flipper. I'm gonna write that down and check it out. LF 79. So 4-degree glide slope, and that, yeah, I'm gonna want flaps 30 is better. All right, so let's see. So at 104, ooh, okay, 140 knots, we're gonna be right at 1,000 feet a minute on the glide slope. Which is, so this is gonna be a steep approach. Boy, I had to pick this one, didn't I? Okay, so we've got the high intensity approach light system, which is the Rabbit. We've got the runway and identifier lights. PAPI's on the left hand side. ILS minimums are 352, which is 300 feet. Doop doop doo. Nice, Kashif. I sort of, well, I'm actually kind of glad I don't have a controller on because I'm confused enough as it is. All right, so let's see here. Let's get ourselves settled in. I gotta get my fidgeting done here. So that 25-mile ring that I have right here is to remind me to make my first radio call 25 miles out. And please tell me. Please tell me my sim just didn't freeze. Okay, it wouldn't let me do anything for a minute. So 25 miles. Let's see here. Marseille traffic beeline 35907 is 25 miles to the north inbound, runway 31 right, making a left pattern for 31 right, Marseille. Yeah, the only thing I play is flight sim, so easy enough for me. Alright, so let's get a chart up here. I hate looking at these in dark. I don't know why. I just can't. It just doesn't register with my feeble mind. Initial approach. Come on, show me the initial approach chart, please. Please. Okay, so this is frozen too, or what? Alright. Do. Live pause. We're just gonna push through here. Let's see, we gotta bring some landing lights on under 10,000 feet. Seatbelt signs coming on. Alright. So live pausing the Volanta helps with the stutters, really. Alright, so we should be making a right-hand turn here pretty soon. Yeah, gosh, yeah, it never seems to happen at the ideal moment either. That should be the one. That's the airport straight ahead of us right there. All right. The Beely LRAV Madra Is it gonna let me do what I want to do now or no? Yes, it will, finally. Alright, so Lacaz is, and then we got 10 miles for, alright. Alright. Yeah, Cash, some controllers want you early. We got nothing to do.
Meine Damen und Herren, zur Landung anwesend und bitten Sie, Ihre Rücklinie wieder senkrecht zu stellen und den Tischchen zurückzuklappen. Dankeschön. Ladies and gentlemen, for landing with control, passing just the backwards of your seats into an upright position again and hold up your tables. Thank you.
This is gonna be interesting. Airport should be right there. Alright. So I'm gonna make another call here in a second. I mean, Madra is what? Couple miles. And then we've got Omegans. Yeah, that's about 10 miles right there. Okay, Pomeg's about 10 miles. So it's kind of like a curved final, like a curved final approach, really. Marseille traffic, beeline 35907, beam the airfield to the west, making left downwind runway 31 right, Marseille. I don't know if I gotta click the radio for the lights or what. I don't see the runway lights. Alright. It's starting to walk back now. The speed, that is. Alright. Oh, 350, right? We'll go, let's see. 100. We'll go speed intervent. One was it 143, so 203 is my up. Your up speed is your. Oh wait. 136, so 206. Your up speed is your flaps 40 landing speed times 20. Or plus 70. What the heck am I talking about? 206. So I'm gonna check out some speed brakes here. And once we are aligned straight into that CF31 right spot right there, waypoint right there, we'll hit the the approach button here. Alright, so glide slope and localizer are in the backup. Alright, so let's go there, let's go here. Alright, runway turnoff lights coming on. Alright. I'm watching some yoga commercial. You know what? I think there's a pretty good chance, Chris. I really do. I think there's a decent chance some of them are going to be pretty good. Let's go. What's not going to be good is if I don't start slowing down. That's not going to be good. We'll go flaps 5. Dial it back to 166. 2500. We'll gear down flaps 15. Alright, we're gonna pitch up here in a little bit to Marseille traffic, beeline 35907, turning up 5 mile final runway 31 right. Marseille. Alright, so gear down. Flaps 15. On the speed brake. Dial this back to 148. This would be rough plus 5. And coming in under the glide slope. Yeah, it's just going to be steep. You can tell. Look how high we are, and we still haven't captured the glide slope yet. All right, we'll go flaps 30. Still haven't even captured the glide slope. All right. You can see that wind, 26 knots. Alright, stabilized. Alright. I'm gonna let this, well. A little bit of a right crosswind. Boy, it's churlish in here.
400. Plus 100. 300.
Glide slow.
Yeah, no.
Glide slow.
Minimums.
Glide slow.
200.
Continuing.
100. 100. 50. 40. 30. 30. 20. 10.
Not too bad in the end. Not too bad in the end. Alright. Alright. Oh. Let's see here. Okay, airplane, let's get moving here. Come on. So, let me. Why is the airplane not moving? Come on, airplane. Do I not have any wheels? Like, what's going on here? Okay. A little uphill, and it's a little into a lot of wind. And it did not want to move. Alright. So. Alright, there we go. That's a little better. Down to Golf 3, and then we'll take a left into the terminal. So that wasn't too. Oh, disable the auto brake. Yeah, that might help. But it shouldn't. It should disengage, should it not? I would think, wouldn't the autopilot, this Golf 2, wouldn't the auto brakes disengage once the plane had come to a stop? Anyway. There's the old joke that if it takes full power to taxi, that means you might have forgot to put the gear down. One of my favorites. Alright. There's Golf 3. Alright, now where shall we park? Where shall we park? I suppose what we really should have done is look at the taxi chart, right? That would have been a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna park right up front here. That landing was, whenever I have a good landing, I always pick a good parking spot. That landing wasn't too bad. Especially for my first 737 landing in a month and a half. Kind of feel like that one was worthy of a decent parking spot. Thank you, Flipper. I appreciate that. Let's see here. We're gonna park right up front, and this is the Payware scenery by, I believe it's France VFR. I can't remember. Take this spot right here. Now this right here is the most important part of any flight, which is the parking. Because if you park like a boob, you've done nothing right. Alright, let's try right here. See how this does for us. And we'll come down to the overhead. Alright, now let's come up here. I never turned the taxi light on, which makes it easy to turn off. I never started the APU. This is what happens when you don't fly for a while. Let's turn the seatbelt sign off before they kill us all. Oh, look how far past the E. Alright, well, let's see. That wasn't, I mean, wasn't the greatest parking job. Let's go ground services here. Let's set the chocks. Let's get ground power. I way overshot. Ground power. I don't have to turn the APU on. And alright, let's see here. So why they have two people up front of these things, by the way? Because there's so much to do. Those off, turn the probes off, electric hydraulics off, turn the fuel pumps off. Where are you, fuel pumps? I can't see you in the dark. Oh, literally can't. Well, actually not the, always leave the fuel pump one on. Turn all those off, landing lights off, turn this on, steady. Turn the anti-collision light off. Come on, baby. Alright, so not too bad. Not too bad. I'll check the chat here in just a second. Just gotta turn all this fun stuff off. That's all off. Come down here, we'll turn the transponder to altitude reporting off. And we'll come down here. What we got? We'll get all this going. Get the jetway. Let's get some ground air. And then we'll open some doors. Let's see. This thing's gonna break. Some like butter. I like grease. Yeah, I like a good greasy landing. But that was not a good parking job. You can see right here. That's where I was supposed to be. I'm right on the line, but that's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not. But all things considered, not too bad. And I'm so far forward I can't even get there. Alright, that's okay. So we'll turn that off. And let's come out and we'll watch all the fun business. This is a pretty cool airport, no? Did I not request that? Or is it still just waiting? Alright, so always have trouble with mine. Like to be smooth. So the key to landing really is a good approach, a good stable approach, no matter what airplane you're flying. And I'm trying to think of, I mean, a good descent rate is, let me see, how does this work? Good descent rate is about, let's see, 90 knots. It's about half your ground. So if your ground speed is 100 knots, a good descent rate is about 500 feet a minute, give or take. So it's kind of like, if you multiply your ground speed times 10 and divide it in half, you'll have a pretty good estimate of what your descent rate should be. So if your ground speed is 100 knots, and you multiply that times 10, that's 1,000, divide it in half, 500 feet a minute, roughly. And the question is like, how do you get the landing? So the landing rate I get is from my A cars, and that one, by the way, was how much? What did I have? Almost 500 feet a minute. So that wasn't great at all, but it didn't feel that hard to me. But passengers can jump. But that's yeah, it's a pretty cool airport. It would have been even kind of cooler to see during the day, but I didn't get going until too late. And that's Vatsim traffic right there. Let me see here. That should be Vatsim traffic. But yeah, so you know, and depends on what you're landing, Flipper. If you're flying GA planes, you're flying piston props. It's much different than landing jets. But what I would recommend is I'd recommend practicing your landings in like either the 152 or the 172. And just try to make your approaches at like 65 knots and about 400 feet per minute ground descent rate. And then when you get about the height of a windsock, about 20 feet off the ground, 15-20 feet off the ground, level off, and then just let it kind of descend onto the ground. But there are people that do flight lessons for flight sim. You know, I've been meaning to do a landing video for the longest time, actually, like how to improve your landing, so maybe I'll actually do that now, because those are the kinds of videos that I actually enjoy making, because they're, you know, flying oriented as opposed to tech stuff, you know. Let's take a look.
Traffic easy 5 correction. 5 which on the November Charlie goes running on the right.
Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice, I would say. So Flipper, what kind of planes are you flying? There's somebody on Vatsim. Look at this. This is really pretty cool. Would have been a fun daylight approach. Having trouble loss of scaling. 2060 Super. Loss of I don't fool around with that much. I don't know if I have a good answer for you, Jeb. I don't mess around with loss of scaling all that often, and generally when I do, I just set it and it runs pretty smoothly. Let me have a real quick look at it, and I'll see if I can if I can take a guess for you at what it might be. They do have a Discord, and they're pretty responsive on their Discord. ILS and the ATR, yeah, it is a little interesting, that's for sure. Jeff, Jeb, I'd recommend checking out their Discord, because I know they're pretty active on their Discord. You know, to be honest with you, I don't really use it because the FrameGen mod works so well for me. But I know people that have amazing results with lossless scaling, and I know people who like yours have a difficult time with it, you know. So, but like I said, I don't really play with it all that much. Honestly, if I were going to use it right now, I'd have to go back and watch one of my own videos, which is kind of funny. Yeah, the F-18 is probably difficult to land. I would have to say. But oh, look at this. An EasyJet coming in here. Let's see here. Who is this? Oh, neat. No, this is gonna be. That's gonna be a 777. No, that's EasyJet. That's the 777 down there. Yeah, I mean, fighter jets are. About 6 years ago, there was an F-18 that was at, or F-16 rather, that was at my local airport. Because my local airport is a former Air Force base. And I went over and looked at it because I have a security pass because my planes are there. So I went over and I looked at it. And if you ever look at an F-16 up close, what an F-16 is a jet engine with two tiny little wings on it. I mean, it is literally the entire fuselage of the F-16 is the engine. It's the craziest thing when you see them up close. And so they just have no drag at all. And I would imagine the only way to really land, I haven't, Chris, no. Oh, that's probably the sound from, here, let me turn the sound down. That's the sound from the jet behind me. No, I haven't seen a MiG-21, Chris, but I tell you, I couldn't believe when I saw the F-16. It's when you look at it straight on at the nose, there is no profile to it at all. It's just the engine with a seat on top of it and two little wings. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you must have to like line up a good 10-mile final on those things and just stable, you know. Yeah, MiG-21. I'm gonna have to Google that now. And there comes my EasyJet guy. You're taxiing too fast, buddy. EasyJet. Let's have a look at the MiG-21. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's but honestly that even has, that's got more fuselage to it than the F-16. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, okay, I'll show you here. I'm gonna switch over to my browser. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. If I can. Can I? See, check this out. This is what I'm talking about. It is literally it's just, that's the engine. There's the seat and there's the wings, and that's with the flaps extended. So I mean that's as much of, you know, a flap as you'll get. But I mean the intake is bigger than the fuselage. Look at that. The intake is literally bigger than the fuselage. It's crazy. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing to look at. When you see it in real life, it's bizarre. It's a cool airplane. See, there's another good yeah, I mean, you can see Eurofighter Typhoon. That's good. I tell you, there's a lot of things that confuse me. Let's face it. But One thing that confuses me is the idea that you can't fly these without computers. Like, what does a computer do? That, I mean, stability wise, like you can't fly them stability wise without. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what you're looking at. Fuselage. Nice, Cash. Good job. Awesome, man. Eurofighter Typhoon. Let's see the Typhoon. Yeah, it's a cool looking airplane. It's a pretty cool looking airplane. But cool. Well, I got my Lufthansa virtual flight in, which is good. So I think it's I think I'll wrap it up and maybe do an hour's worth of work and then start the weekend, maybe. So thanks for coming along, guys. I appreciate everybody accompanying me on my trip to Marseille. Oh wow. Yeah, they are fighter jets are so loud. They are so loud. There's no attempt whatsoever to make them quiet. Cash, you got me by about times 10. My my landing rate was 450. But that's all right. I got my flight. It was a weird approach because it was a steep approach, 450 a minute. And that the steep glide slope. Let me see here. Come on over here. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, you see the 4 degree descent angle, so it's a really steep. Even at 140 knots, you're almost breaking stable approach criteria. Crazy. But yeah, they I remember seeing fighter jets fly over New York, over Manhattan when I was down there. There were 2 F-16s flying over Manhattan, and I mean they were just so. I mean they were probably at, I don't know, 10,000 feet at least, and it was like loud enough that you had to speak up when you're on the street to talk. I mean they're so loud, it's unbelievable. But cool. Got my Deutsche Lufthansa virtual flight in, and got to hang out with you guys and chat, which was good. So got a new flight in my logbook. Let's check my flights. So there's my new flight to Marseille. Got a bunch of flights out of Brussels. This was a fun one. Gran Canaria. That was a fun one. I've done this flight twice. Nairobi, Kenya is a cool flight. That was a really cool flight in the 777. But yeah, Brussels is a cool cool departure. I don't think I've ever flown into Brussels. I have to try that at some point. But let's see here. Yeah. I want to do some more flying in Africa. Africa's a pretty cool place to fly. Alright guys, I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna go do something constructive for a while before the workday is over. But thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for coming along. And yeah, we'll fly. We'll do a group flight on Sunday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody has a good start to their weekend. And we'll chat soon, guys. Take it easy, everybody. Guys and gals. Guys and gals. Take it easy. Have a good Friday.